Hello, this is Pastor Gary Brooks with you for a devotional time in this Easter week, another week made holy by the death and resurrection of our Savior Jesus Christ. As Pastor Mark encourages you daily, let's begin our devotion time with silent prayer. We'll both pause and then rejoin after a moment of prayer. Welcome back for devotional thoughts about the resurrection and the life we have in Jesus. We remember the resurrection gospel from the reports of early morning visits to the tomb, which proved to be empty, and reports of Jesus' encounters with his disciples that evening. Yet there's another resurrection that was closely linked to Jesus' resurrection. I'm speaking of Jesus raising a personal dear friend, Lazarus, from the dead. Last week, I talked about how that resurrection hardened opposition against Jesus, hastening the plans to kill him. But look again at Lazarus' resurrection, and we will see God's plan in this, and in it, his plan for us. Lazarus, a friend of Jesus, was gravely ill. Mary and Martha, his sister, sent word to Jesus, asking him to come, faithfully confident that he could heal their brother Lazarus. And yet Jesus purposely stayed away, allowing time for Lazarus to die. Jesus gives his reasons for delay, saying, "This illness is for the glory of God, so that the Son of God may be revealed by means of it." 4 days after Lazarus' death, 1 day more than the customary period allowed to see if a person presumed dead might have really suffered a seizure and then recover. It was common experience that it was the 4th day that a body began to decay. So for very specific reasons, John the Apostle tells us 4 days after Lazarus' death, Jesus takes his disciples with him to go to Mary and Martha, telling the 12, "For your sake I'm glad that I was not there, so that you may believe." As Jesus approaches, Martha goes out on the road to meet him. She's disappointed in him, and John tells us this by her very words. "Lord," she said, "if you had been here, my brother would not have died." Accepting her feelings, Jesus guides Martha to what is for the glory of God, so that the Son of God might be glorified by means of it. Jesus said to her, "Your brother will rise again." Martha said to him, "I know that he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day." Jesus said to her, "I am the resurrection and the life, and he who believes in me, though he die, yet shall he live. And whoever lives and believes in me shall never die." And then, I'm sure, looking directly at her, he said, "Do you believe this?" Yes, the resurrection gospel proclaims Jesus' resurrection and the promise of ours after death. "Though we die, yet shall we live," he declares. But even more, we celebrate that he is the resurrection, our resurrection to new life now, as it is for whoever believes and lives in him. Believe Jesus is the resurrection and the life, and for the life we live now, this very day and every day remaining until we die. And even that physical death will be but a passage to a resurrection with a glorified body, never to die again. Jesus asked Martha plainly, "Do you believe I am the resurrection and the life? She said, yes, Lord, I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, who is coming into this world. Coming into our world in our lives now. Coming for sinners like us. He said, I came to seek and save the lost. Coming to comfort us. He invited all who labor and are heavy laden to come to him. Coming with grace and mercy. Jesus has promised to come to us personally. He said, the one who loves me will be loved by my Father, and I too will love them and show myself to them. My Father will love them, and we will come to them and make our home with them. The one who is the resurrection and the life will one day call us to his home. But in the meantime, this day, he comes to make his home with us. Do you believe this? He asks. He invites our faith in him, the one who comes into our world. Trust the fountain of every blessing, streams of mercy. O Jesus, tune my heart to sing thy praise. Teach me a song sung by tongues above, by thy good pleasure safely to arrive at home. To grace how great a debtor daily I am constrained to be, prone to leave the God I love, but sought by Jesus and held by the Father's good pleasure and merciful care, safely to arrive in his home. Reflect on these words and listen to find yourself in a hymn inviting Jesus, the source, the fountain of every blessing, to come into your world anew this day as the resurrection and the life.
Come, thou fount of every blessing, tune my heart to sing thy grace. Streams of mercy, never ceasing, call for songs of loudest praise. Teach me some melodious sonnet sung by flaming tongues above. Praise the mount I'm fixed upon it, mount of God's unchanging love. Here I raise my Ebenezer, hither by thy help I come, and I hope by thy good pleasure safely to arrive at home. Jesus sought me when a stranger, wandering from the fold of God. He to rescue me from danger interposed his precious blood. bind my wandering heart to thee. Prone to wander, Lord, I feel it. Prone to leave the God I love. Here's my heart, Lord. Take and seal it. Seal it for thy courts above. Here's my heart, Lord. Take and seal